Asanteni. Asanteni wananayasa na wasalimu kwa furaha. Vile vile wenzetu wa Kenya, kwa sababu nimefahamishwa kwamba kwenye runinga zingine tukio hili linapeperushwa moja kwa moja. Kwa hivyo ni haki kuzungumza sio tu kwa wale ambao tuko hapa, lakini vile vile kwa wenzetu wananchi wa Kenya. Salamu nyingi sana. Leo hii ni siku ya kihistoria, na mimi nina furaha zaidi kwamba nimepata fursa kwa mara nyingine kuweka saini kwa coalition agreement. Lakini mara hii coalition agreement ambayo ni tofauti kabisa. Ndugu Raila atakumbuka mimi na yeye, nadhani sasa hii ndio awamu ya 3. Tuliweka mkataba wa NAC, National Rainbow Coalition, in 2002, na matokeo yakawa ya ajabu. Naona because they say history repeats itself, this time history is going to repeat itself. Lakini maajabu, tukanyimwa haki zetu kulingana na yale makubaliano ambayo yalikuwa pale. Kenyans will recall that we were judged then as the most optimistic nation on earth. And the NAC dream, unfortunately, was short-lived, because we didn't have this kind of a coalition agreement we have signed today. Tulienda tukawashinda kikamilivu, ambao siku zile walikuwa julikana kama project. Alafu yakafanyika yale yalifanyika. The good intentions of Kenyan people were hijacked by forces that were not progressive, negative forces, I like to call them. Mheshimiwa ndugu Raila, utakumbuka mimi na wewe tukaweka saini mara nyingine 2013. Alafu yaliyofanyika, in effect, the 2002 coalition agreement, when it was not honored, brought serious grief to this country. And this country has never recovered. In 2013, we did a similar thing. Mimi na ndugu Eta na ndugu Raila, we went on to score, believe it or not, 5.8 million votes. Lakini ikawa downgraded to 5.4 million. Wenzetu wale wakapata 4.7 million. Ikawekwa 6.2. Ni wazi sasa julikana kuna ukarabati wa kura milioni 2 ambao ulifanyika. Ndugu Raila, ndugu Eta tukashinda following our last coalition agreement, na tukanyimwa haki. Sio sisi kunyimwa, wananchi wa Kenya wakanyimwa, wazalendo wakaumia roho zao, mpaka mahakama yenyewe kafanya ambalo halikutarajiwa na Wakenya walio wengi. Hadi wakati huu kuna pigo kubwa juu ya uwezo wa mahakama yetu kama nchi kuwa huru, na ambayo inaweza ikasimamia haki kwa mambo ya upigaji kura. To the extent that both the Law Society of Kenya and the East African Law Society cannot quote what happened at the Supreme Court as authority for anything. Safari hii tumeweka mkataba ambao ni tofauti kabisa. Safari hii ndugu Eta na ndugu Raila, tumekuwa refreshed literally by the presence with us of our brother Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. I have no doubt in my mind that ndugu Mudavadi, you've been the missing link, and therefore you bring us luck. This time, and I want to make it clear that the document you have signed today is basically a framework document. There's still a lot of work to be done. We have made it clear that the team of 12 will continue to do to do the most important matter in 3 areas. Mainly, the matter of nomination of our candidates as National Super Alliance. There will be areas, because we are wiser, we lost Nairobi. Nairobi County could have given us at least 10 minimum court members if we had done our nomination right. We are wiser. This time that matter must be dealt with conclusively. Of course, areas where in any political organization they are seen as our strongholds, with the team again will continue to look at what is possible, whether the sister parties can have friendly fire, or whether the sister parties can again have joint nominations. That is work under progress. But the team of 12 have done a tremendous job, and I must thank them for what they have done. They know that the most important matter is to work on the all-important matter of flagship of NASA. And this is important. They are going to have to burn the midnight oil on our part, the 4 of us, and you will notice in that coalition agreement, because it is now public. In fact, after this, our secretaries general are going straight to the register of political parties to hand over this document. Therefore, to that extent, it will be public. We've actually said that even the critical matter of power sharing and whatever, not necessarily as in our statement, we have made it clear, we are not power hungry. We are not looking at who becomes what. We are looking for the common good of this nation. And therefore, we must work towards an all-inclusive government. Inclusivity to us is absolutely pivotal. It's a core value. And this is why Jubilee have completely failed to recognize the demography of this country, that we have nationalities living in this country. And then you go up to come and they've come up with an administration that is clearly not all-inclusive. Therefore, this is important. And this again is work under progress. So we undertake to move with speed, this time guided by the most important matter between us, and that is the principle of good faith. Moving every step in good faith, believing that Kenyans are also going to come along with us. Kwa hivyo tukifanya mambo haya, mimi sioni Jubilee wakiwepo. Imesalia miezi 5 peke yake Kenya ipate uhuru wa haki. First, last and final liberation. The last and liberation, we're going to instill the spirit of constitutionalism, the spirit of brotherhood, the spirit of honesty in politics, and in the conduct of public affairs. Kwa hivyo mimi naulizeni ambao tuko hapa, tamko langu la mwisho, tujihadhari na IEBC. Na tunaambia wao, sio kusema hatuna imani na commission mpya ambayo sasa imeanza kazi. Itafahamika kwamba sisi tulipigwa tear gas na malori Nkaiseri, naona ameongeza mengine mengi zaidi yenye sumu ya maji. Lakini tutataka tuwape hadhari kwamba Kenyans cannot be cowed by excessive power, unconstitutional power, and use of the same, the freedom of association. A nation that even has lost its conscience. Where in the world have you had a doctor strike going on for over 70 days? Where? Where in the world have you heard of a country that is permanently one strike after another, and an administration that is literally having like hearts of stone, not hearts of flesh? Kwa hivyo, IEBC, I will mention here there is rot, absolute rot in the voter register. As we speak here, this is not a matter of speculation. This is why we said no to KPMG, because they did not have the ability to do a thorough audit of that register. As we speak now, they have not even cleaned it. Ndio naona ndugu Raila alipoenda mahali kucheck, zikatokea nambari, ukiweka tu 00222 inatokea watu wengi zaidi ambao wamesajiliwa kama wapiga kura. Tunajua kwamba hata NYS bado anaenda na kusajili watu wengine. We are saying from this platform today, these games must end. The culture of free and fair and credible and very viable elections must creep in immediately. Jubilee owes it to themselves even. Because all of us on a world stage, we will come and play Act 2, Act 3 in a play. Where one of them said, if you read a book called A Man for All Seasons, that the world is basically a stage. And this common man came and played and said, I am just a common man. And here is a play made up of kings and cardinals in speaking costumes. He says, is this a costume? It actually barely covered one man's nakedness. We are all going to exit the stage. What is important is what do we leave behind. Therefore, we are putting IEBC on notice on this matter. Mr. Chebukati, we met you with your team. You know you have our full support. But if you discover there is rot in the system, come out and say it. Because we know there is rot. And this rot must be cleaned up. Double registrations. Hata unaana mahali ambapo anasema at over-registered, if you look at it, is a matter of double registration. I went as far as Kiajokoma in Embu. And there I found a young lady who came to register at that particular place, and she was told, you already registered. She has just obtained an ID, 18 years old, na tayari amesajiliwa kama mpiga kura. These games have to end. The whole thing now is IEBC. Finally, Shakespeare said there's a tide in the affairs of men. This is a high tide. And as my brother Raila said, this tide now will translate to tsunami. Already it is. Because people did not expect that we would come this far. But you know God, for Christians like me, Ebenezer. This far, God has brought us. And He's going to deliver a wonderful nation. Therefore, even Jubilee, please relax. Relax to know that a NASA win is even good for you. May God bless Kenya.